After reviewing The Sims 3 for DS last year, I decided I might as well go ahead and review every version of The Sims 3 altogether. Though I'll be skipping on the Pets version because it's its own thing, and I won't be covering the Xbox 360 version since the PS3 is just the same game. So I'm only going to review the DS, 3DS, Wii, PS3, and PS3 PC versions.
Lazy.
Skipping out on a single one being Xbox. So let's go ahead and see what the 3DS version of The Sims 3 has to offer us. I mean, the DS one was really bad, but ambitious given its limitations. They tried so hard to emulate the open world sandbox PC version on the go. So what about the 3DS? Surely, it'll be just like that, but better, right? I mean, it's the 3DS, a more powerful DS, but with tacky 3D that will blind you, just like the Virtual Boy. Surely, it fucking sucks.
Man, didn't see that coming.
Just like the DS version of The Sims 3, the 3DS version attempts to capture the PC game on the go, except with tons of downgrades and restrictions that makes the DS version look all the better than it already was. With a new control scheme, tacky gimmicks, and little to nothing to do. Oh, and there's no open world in this game? Yeah, go figure. For a next-gen handheld, it couldn't handle what the DS itself could pull off. Fucking tech, man.
Can't I just have a break? Can't I just have one break?
Alright, let's go ahead and get this train wreck over with, starting out with create a sim. We can make a single sim, yep, only a single sim. You may be wondering, does that mean we have to make separate households and then get them married to merge? Nope, you can't have more than a single sim.
Shit the fuck!
Yeah, so anyways, you can pick from a tiny selection of skin colors, one of 2 body types, no sliders here, and one of 2 genders. After that, this version of The Sims 3 takes a turn with its customization. You can sculpt the head of the Sims a bit more differently, even able to use your 3DS camera to try to generate a face based on your photo. While I have no desire to do this, I can say what little is possible here is just okay. There's not that many presets to choose from for ears, eyes, mouths, and noses. Sculpting by sliding the target around to morph parts is just alright, nothing special. As for hair, well, there's no content here, just like the DS, if not even somehow worse. I mean, good god, there's like a single black hair, and then a few variations of the same long hair. Plus, you gotta set your head and facial hair for each outfit. Yep, so make sure to keep track of which 2 facial hair options you use to put onto your sleepwear and workout outfits. Yikes, things are just getting worse and worse.
It can't get worse, right? It can and it will, and here it is.
Yeah, when it comes to clothing, you only have a small selection as well. This just keeps getting ridiculous, folks. There's no creative style either, so if you prefer a shirt in a certain color,
Go fuck yourself.
don't help either, there's barely any clothing altogether. Oh god, I'm starting to get a migraine.
But wait! There's more!
Yeah, when it comes to traits, you only have a tiny selection, even less than on DS. I don't see anything for the geeky or tech type, there's not even anything for artsy people. You only got handy, flirty, loner, good cook, etc. Nothing is really here to help define you. Even DS had more to offer. But just like DS, you can't just pick your aspiration. It's predetermined based on your trait selection. Man, I hate this game already.
Oh, no shit.
After we barely create something that's supposed to represent us, it's time to pick from one of 3 houses to live in. Yep, only 3, and don't let all those other lots fool you. You'll never get to move into them. I'll explain as we get into the gameplay portion. So for now, we pick our house and then get right into the gameplay. After create a sim and picking our house out of a whopping 3 choices, we begin playing, except not really, as you're forced into non-stop tutorials. You gotta also play them correctly, otherwise you cannot progress your way out of them, and nope, you cannot disable these. They're mandatory every time you start a new game. Oh, and remember, only one save file is allowed with a single sim too.
Bullshit!
I can get the tutorial being there given this game's control scheme, but don't force it onto us. Not everyone is a middle-aged mother who never really played a video game before. It should have been optional with a continue with the tutorial or not prompt, okay? Not that hard, developers.
Makes sense.
A major issue right away with this game outside of non-stop forced tutorials whenever you start a new game, because you can only have a single save and a single sim. Yeah, let that one sink in, folks. It's the most restrictive Sims 3 game out there. I expect something like that when I play The Sims 2 for PSP and DS, but then again, in those games, I can just start a new save with multiple slots available. But here, nah fam, you get one sim and save. You could create townies, but not able to really play as them. So why is this even a feature? I mean, come on, there's several empty lots in the game, and 3 houses by default we can select from. But we're not allowed to play as any other Sims? Just what kind of logic is this? Anyways, back on topic, you don't get to see your needs. Yet, much like The Sims 2 for DS, except they're so minor that it's nothing and you can deal with them in less than 5 real-time minutes, as they decay very slowly. Here, they decrease faster than The Sims 1 on PC or console. Hell, they decay faster than your average experience in The Sims 2 Castaway.
Good God.
So, how do you know when you gotta take a shit? You can't. You just piss yourself at random as your sim never does what you want them to do. Oh hey, it's the coding they used to make The Sims and The Sims 4 Autonomy, right? Yeah, because in that game, they never do what you want, and here, it's the same exact thing. Unlike the PC and DS version of The Sims 3. Shocker. So yep, your needs decay fast, and you can never tell what your sim needs till it's too late. Plus, with all the objects getting dirty, clogging, and of course breaking non-stop, your sim's never cleaning up after themselves. Your house will look like Asmon's gold after a few real-world minutes.
Man, fuck you guys, man. Yeah, y'all really think you're being cute, huh?
Oh lord. If you hate Nintendo control schemes, then avoid this game because it controls like a typical Nintendo first-party exclusive. You gotta use the touchscreen for every single little thing. You want to move the camera? Touchscreen. Want to move around and see where things are? Touchscreen. Want to select things? Touchscreen. It gets so bad trying to control everything, especially because this UI is so god-awful. I'm struggling to navigate it, especially if you enter buy or build mode. Oh god, is it a pain trying to place things. You gotta touch and hold, then press the buy button, then you gotta touch and drag to where you want to place it. Afterwards, exit buy/build mode or enter the other mode so if you're placing a chair, enter build mode, then go back to buy mode. So that way you can place another chair. Yeah, you can't just place the object and go back into the buy or build mode to place another. You gotta exit and re-enter every single time you place an object. Try to figure that logic out right there. Yeah, it's so bad. So bad that I barely placed anything. Build mode was the worst offender, just attempting to move this garbage camera around so I can place wallpaper down or place in walls or flooring. Nothing about this game is intuitive or fun. If you thought the DS game looked and played badly, especially with performance, you haven't seen, let alone played the 3DS game. This is 100% impossible to play. I only tolerated about 1 hour of gameplay before I gave up. I saw everything this piece of shit has to offer in that time. That's how bad it is. In fact, things get really bad if you go into town or speed up time. The graphics are fugly, all the stuttering and freezing plus low frame rate. Oh god, even the PC version with all the DLC enabled runs better than this game. How is that even possible?
Man, this sucks. It's just like, I don't even know what to say.
There's no open world unlike the DS version. Why? Why is the next gen experience worse than the previous? That's not how it's supposed to work. But then again, this is the 2010s when gaming started to go downhill in terms of quality, and tech has become so stagnant, yet games look worse than ever before with terrible performance and ports. Yeah, after the 7th generation of consoles got close to their deaths, gaming just kind of soured. Who knew? There's barely any creative sim assets. You can't really make anything remotely close to yourself or even anyone else. Buy mode has tons of counters because they use swatches as separate objects. Just like The Sims 4. But when it comes to computers, skill objects, and all that stuff, there's barely anything there. Hell, there's no easel to paint on. They got rid of the easel. Instead, they got 3 chess tables that are literally the same exact thing with different colors. By God, is there anything here? Is there a reason to buy stuff? Is there any gameplay besides pissing yourself and watching your sim collapse like a diabetic in a Dairy Queen? No! So outside of your house, you'll be spending all your time at basically. What else is there even to do? Well, if your Sim's needs are not completely depleted for at least 1 millisecond, so you can actually take a breath, well, you can go to one of 2 locations you can visit in this game. Yep, you cannot visit your neighbors unlike the DS version, so go ahead and check out either area of town, both featuring a small alleyway of rabbit holes and maybe 1 or 2 actual buildings you can enter, like a library or gym. And that's about it. Yep, there's nothing to do. I couldn't even spot a single place to go fishing. How the hell do you even do that? Even The Sims 1 on PC had fishing through an expansion pack. Christ's sakes. Yeah, so the game just sucks. I can't think of anything positive to say about it. I was hoping that stuff would unlock over time, but nope, it didn't. And your needs with terrible UI and controls just leads to non-stop frustration. This is one of the worst Sims games of all time, and so far the worst version of The Sims 3. Up next will be the Nintendo Wii, followed by PS3, and finally PC version. So here's hoping they will be better than this trash. If you gotta play The Sims 3 through a portable, make sure it's the DS version. Anyways, let's wrap this shit up.
It's about time.
At the end of the day, this is easily so far the worst version of The Sims 3 that I've played yet. How is the next gen experience worse than the previous gen? The fact I can have more fun, more content, more value from the DS version of The Sims 3 over the 3DS one says it all. Wow, just wow. What a garbage piece of fucking shit game this turned out to be. Glad it's over with though. I'm not covering the Pets version either. Was going to, but after experiencing this game and all what little it has to offer, I'm out. Fuck this shit. It ain't worth playing. It ain't worth downloading. It ain't worth remembering.
You got real dark.
Forced touchscreen controls, the horrible camera, the terrible UI, stuttering, freezing, lag, slow frame rate, lack of needs display, the lack of stuff to do, and the worst creative sim I've ever seen. Since the Game Boy Advance series of Sims titles. I have nothing positive to say about this game. Please, for the love of God, avoid it at all costs.
Oh, I will!
Anyways, that's it for this video. See you all later.